Let's start this little adventure in Puerto Plata. First, we will explore the area, then in future editions, we will interview some of the expats that now call Puerto Plata home. As the name would suggest, Puerto Plata really is an ocean port town with commercial shipping docks in town and a brand new Amber Cove cruise ship dock about 6 miles west of town. Puerto Plata is definitely the largest of the towns along the north coast with a population of about 118,000 people. This town certainly has the most commercial activity of any of the towns along Carretera 5. While all the hustle and bustle of a commercial town would not be my first choice for a family home, there are some distinct advantages to living in a bigger town like Puerto Plata. In fact, at one point I was even researching whether to bring a manufacturing plant down from the States to the north coast, and Puerto Plata was the first choice, given the seaport docks and more consistent 24/7 power grid. Don't get me wrong, living in Puerto Plata is nothing like living in an industrial city in America. Just take a look at some of these homes that are currently for sale in the Puerto Plata area. Not exactly what you would imagine in the typical commercial town. Puerto Plata shares the same beautiful beaches and the same gorgeous views of the surrounding mountain ranges. Maybe a little more traffic and hustle and bustle. The Puerto Plata area also has its own share of exclusive, all-inclusive resorts and the occasional casino and plenty of tourist activities. As in any town, there are upscale neighborhoods, middle-class neighborhoods, and less affluent areas where many of the local workers live. Really something for everyone at every budget level. I've seen some great deals on very nice ocean view homes in Puerto Plata over the years, and with the influx of hundreds of thousands of new cruise visitors into Puerto Plata each year, I think it might even be worth a relook as a home base for a more touristy business to tap into all those free-spending cruisers. The new Amber Cove cruise dock just outside Puerto Plata only opened in 2015, but it already brings in about 250,000 cruise passengers a year. Both Carnival and Princess Cruises dock at Amber Cove on some of their many Caribbean cruises. Each and every one of those vacationers have money to spend on tours, on activities, on food, drink, trinkets, and treasures. Now that we're in the Puerto Plata area, let's take a closer look at some of the areas that tend to attract more expats and vacation homeowners. Looking at the map of this area a little more closely, let's check out the main areas. That'll help you get a little better perspective, I think. About 6 miles to the west of Puerto Plata, you will find the new Amber Cove cruise ship docks and the community of Confresi. Before they built the cruise ship docks, there really was not much going on. Custom Bar was one of the earlier expat vacation settlements in the Puerto Plata area. This is what I would call a loosely gated community that has been fairly popular for years with Canadians, Europeans, and even Americans. The beaches in this area are nice, and the water is pretty calm much of the year, and there are a fair number of supporting businesses, restaurants, activities scattered out in the community. It's pretty easy to find vacation and long-term rentals in Costa Bar, and we see some pretty good deals on beach community homes for sale in this area from time to time. Overall, it's not a bad place to invest, especially if you figure out a way to tap into the large number of nearby cruise visitors that may want to return to the area on their own. If I had to sum up some of their likes, it would be the neighborly community and the great beaches and the beachside restaurants and easy access to Puerto Plata. If I had to sum up some of the negatives, some of the expats feel that it's a little too accessible. And with the increased tourism and more populated city nearby, you can always expect a slight uptick of vandalism and theft. It goes with the territory. Touristy beach towns always tend to attract a few more undesirables than the less touristy towns like Cabrera. But like I said, this area may actually be a pretty good investment option if you can avoid the marked up gringo real estate prices. And if there's one thing we have learned over the years down here, there are always different prices. Of course, we can give you up-to-date information about what's on sale right now. Just drop us a line on our contact form. From Costa Bar, Heading closer to Puerto Plata, you will pass a number of larger all-inclusive resorts with all the amenities you could ever want, including the largest casino on the north coast. At Ocean World Adventure Park, you will find the Sea World of the Dominican. Along the way, you will find plenty of water sports vendors and more restaurants and activities than you will have time for. In general, I would rate the all-inclusives in this area at around a 4 to 4.5 star, not quite the 5-star resorts you might find near Punta Cana or in some other areas of the Caribbean, but plenty good enough for a good time by most people. And like so many of the resorts in the Dominican Republic, these are plenty affordable. Of all the North Coast towns, I suppose Puerto Plata has the longest history and perhaps the most diversity in cultural activities. Puerto Plata was actually founded in 1502 and settled by some of the original Spanish explorers. The local stone fort was built and completed in 1577. Along the way, the Dominican Republic officials made efforts to grow the settlement by admitting and encouraging immigrants from Germany and other European countries to settle in this general area. Today, Puerto Plata is a real melting pot with ties to many different countries. It's home to several museums, including a museum devoted entirely to the precious amber gemstones found nearby. Also nearby are a series of 27 waterfalls, a cable car to the top of the nearby mountain, and all the water sports you could ever imagine. I hope that gives you a small sampling of what we're seeing in the area surrounding Puerto Plata. In future editions, we will sit down with some expats living in the area and hear what they like and what they dislike about living in the area. With all the cruise ship activity in the area, Puerto Plata has been given a renewed lease on life, in my opinion. On our next North Coast edition, we will move east and take a look at the expat situation in Sosua.